You're listening to Top 4, a new series presented by the Game Pitch Podcast.
Join hosts Brandon and Eli as they build gaming Mount Rushmores every week.
Enjoy topics that range from the best multiplayer types to the top bug Pokemon.
Catch fresh episodes of Top 4 every Wednesday on the Project Nerd Network.
And don't miss new episodes of the Game Pitch Podcast, dropping every Monday morning.
Let's get ready to rank. Hello and welcome to the Top 4 and More podcast, presented by Game Pitch. My name's Eli. I'm on the line with Brandon. What's up, Brandon?
Hey, everybody.
The beautiful Brandon and I, we rank things in the video game realm, in the world of gaming, and we kind of just give you our personal Mount Rushmores of different topics. So this week, Brandon picked our topic. Brandon, what did you pick?
Top 4 video game currencies.
Can I ask, that was so out of left field when you sent that. I was like, what had Brandon with his mind on his money and his money on his mind?
Funny story, actually. So let's see, when was this? Because I think it was last Thursday. Because I remember I was like, yeah, I'll get it to you by like Wednesday. So you've got like a week and a half to work on it. And Wednesday rolled by and I hadn't thought of anything. And then Thursday came on and I was like, man, I really got to pick my list. I remember stressing because I couldn't think of anything. And I'm like, why am I having like a writer's block right now? And I was like, I should take a bath. And then I remembered that I got these Zelda bath bombs in the shape of rupees one time. And apparently I've had them for like 2.5 years and just haven't used them. I didn't even end up taking that bath, but yeah, we're talking about video game currencies now, so it did what it needed to do, you know.
Well, thank you, Relaxing Bath. I mean, Relaxing Bath, if you want to sponsor the show, please do. I mean, we're available. Can you imagine if Big Bath just calls us and are like, glug, 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 here's the thing.
Big Bath.
If you don't talk about taking showers, we got your back. And we're just like, okay, Big Bath, whatever. Oh, as always, we do some honorable mentions to kick off the show. Brandon, do you have some honorable mentions when it comes to video game currency?
Elijah, I don't know what it is, because on our last episode, I did honorable mentions and dishonorable mentions. But for this episode, I just have dishonorable mentions.
That's fine. I'll take it.
I guess I'm salty about video game money because I'm very salty about these two specifically. I am very passionate about how stupid these are. So, number one, credits in sci-fi games. Come on, man, where's the fucking effort? Credits? That's so boring. And I get whatever. It's like the space thing. Like Star Wars has galactic credits, and it's boring. It's lazy. No one wants credits, man.
Crosses Mass Effect credits off of personal list. No, I'm just kidding. It's not on my list. But you're right. Credits is definitely lazy, I would say. Yeah, you're right. Super standard.
Okay. And then my other dishonorable mention is caps from Fallout. Because I just don't think that there is any fucking way that Coca-Cola becomes so popular that suddenly when the world ends, people are going to be trading like tabs, and it doesn't make sense, Elijah. Why?
Okay. Time out. We gotta unpack this one just a bit, buddy. Because you gotta remember, like, I think when the Fallout world ends, it's like essentially the 40s, 50s. So like back then it's a man not entitled to the sweat of his own brow. Like that was back in like dominant glass bottle Coke era. Like that was the drink. You know, there wasn't 20 different soda options. There wasn't plastic bottles. So I see the legitimacy of something that exists in the world that there's so many of them of that you could just say that this is the currency now. But please tell me why it's bullshit some more.
Well, now you've like pointed out good features of it, and I don't want to shit on it anymore.
No shit, but... please. What was the rest? Continue, finish your shit. I don't want you to stop mid crap.
So here's the thing, right? One of the things that because man, like, unfortunately, I didn't get to go as hard on this list as I wanted to, just because I've been like dying this week. But I still went pretty hard. I put a lot of research into this and like a lot of thought, and specifically about how I think that objectively, like, for video game currency to be good, it has to contribute to the overall, goals of the world that you live in, or the character or whatever. Like, there's got to be a purpose and a reason behind like wanting money, and I just don't think that in a post-apocalyptic world we would have an economy built on fucking bottle caps, dude. It just like, why are we not trading cows? Why are we like
Uh,
I like
yeah, there. I get you. There's more valuable resources, and then aesthetically, they don't make sense because, like we mentioned Zelda briefly, I imagine that'll pop up earlier. But aesthetically, they match with. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I completely understand, buddy.
Anyways, let's
Should,
talk
should,
about your honorable mentions, Alesia.
you're so salty. I can feel it through the pod. Like Zencaster is like salt malfunction. Like it just either way. My honorable mentions. The first one goes to my ever favorite, the ever favorite object of my heart slash my disdain. Kingdom Hearts. So money is the currency in Kingdom Hearts, and it's not money. It's munny. It's money, and it looks like little golden balls, and they kind of spin around you and whatever. So that's an honorable mention there to that. And then I had to give a big old shout out to the gold from WoW because people would farm that, and that was like a job for a while. And like I could not mention the gold from WoW because people were like, "Oh yeah, man, I paid someone $100 to farm 100 gold on my like account. It's like $1 per gold, like it's just like that whole concept and how like mounts were going for real world money and just like everything that World of Warcraft did, it like subsequently the other Blizzard stuff like the Diablo auction houses and just all of that. It's just mind boggling, and I salute them. And like as a gamer, it's just like that is a part of our history, and it's so funny to me.
You telling me that World of Warcraft is responsible for Fortnite?
Bro, probably. Well, I mean, wait, do you use splinters of wood as currency in Fortnite or like?
Well, just it was interesting how you brought up it. Like it seems like, well, granted, I'm no historian or anything, but it seems like World of Warcraft like sparked a larger, built a bigger bridge between real money and fake money. Uh, like
Mm,
and now like loot boxes are illegal and shit. Like
yeah. You're right. They probably led the charge on our wallets getting drained a little bit more. You're probably right. I would not say you're wrong there, but I would ask you, sir, what is your number 4?
bullets from Metro.
Oh, is this what Metro Exodus?
2033, 2023.
Okay.
I'm not the biggest fan of Metro games, but I chose this one specifically to spite Fallout caps because it makes way more sense to put value in an actual resource than bottle caps.
I think this is the Top 4 or More podcast's first ever salt pick brought to you by Brandon Snow. When you want to bury your enemies and foes, you bury them deep under pounds of snow. Okay, cool. Do I have anything else about Metro? Because like I've
No,
never played it.
that's
That's
literally the only reason I chose that one.
fantastic. I'm gonna damn it. I'm gonna tell you my number 4, and it's rings from Sonic. And I don't necessarily know if they're like a currency, but they're the things you collect, and they're kind of like your health. But there's Sonic games where you use the rings to unlock things, so I felt like they're an in-game currency, even if it's not like Sonic's not trading someone a ring to buy a chili dog. He is still like it's a currency where you get more of them and you get something in some of the games. So I don't know if that's illegitimate to you. I understand, but I put rings because it's the first thing I thought of video game money. I was like, oh yeah, rings from Sonic.
Elijah, I'm gonna accept this because I think we can have a really interesting conversation about the connections between your number 4 and my number 3.
Okay, well then, let's get to your number 3, bud.
So I did coins for Mario, right? Because it's interesting because in the same way, like in the first couple Mario games where it was just side scrolling, there was no overworld or anything like that. You didn't really do anything with rings. Like sure, you get 100 of them, one up. Also, one of the reasons that they made it onto my list because apparently, if you have enough money, you can become immortal. Uh,
Jeff
so that
Bezos.
Yeah. Oh man, that guy's got to have like 80 billion lives right
He's
now.
got a lot of them. Okay.
But yeah, and so but then like there's other games like some of the more RPG titles like Paper Mario, Super Mario RPG, even like Super Mario World stuff when there would be like the Toad Shops. Originally, when it first started, it wasn't used as like I wouldn't consider it a currency before that.
No, I'm totally with you. And so, fun story. My number 3 is also Mario coins. We're getting really good
Wow.
at this. So it's funny, yeah, because it's interesting if we have the same stuff on the list, but like in the same slot is really funny to me. So the reason I actually put Mario coins is if you said my rings thing was illegitimate, I was going to argue further in the Mario one. Basically, yeah, because you're right. It's the same thing where like it's not a currency, but by the time we get to Odyssey, it is. You're buying costumes. But then also before that, like Mario Party was going to be my prime example because it is a
Yep.
currency in Mario Party. And Mario Party, I think it's so weird to me that like how many genres of games Mario has overtaken and how like flexible and how easily he applies to everything. But like Mario Party, man, like that is a currency in that game, and it's something that I always think of because I think when you think about a video game currency, like the reason you're earning these currencies is to buy things in the game, typically new armor, new weapon, new skill, whatever it is, or like to bribe someone or whatever it happens to be. You're usually collecting this stuff to earn something. And I don't think that has ever been more felt than in Mario Party to me, because like you can get coins from people, you can lose coins, you can get them on rolls, you can get them from mini games. Like there's just so many ways to earn, lose, and trade the currency that it's just so it it's like so, I don't know, malleable, I guess. I just
Yeah,
really like the Mario coin.
it's interesting. I think that like putting competition behind like, so like if you obviously like if you have more coins in Mario Party, like you're gonna do better. You're gonna be able to buy more stars, all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And so I think putting like desire behind like obtaining it, I think I definitely see what you're saying by like it's malleable.
You get it in Mario Odyssey, sure, and it's kind of like an afterthought. You're just like, oh yeah, I'm going to collect these coins. Or even if we talk about Galaxy, Starbits are effectively the coins, or even though there are coins in that
Right.
one, it's the same kind of thing. But yeah, Mario coins I think has to be on this list, even if they're not a currency. Like
For
yeah,
sure.
'cause there's enough Mario RPGs that we can get by, I think, on this. I don't think anyone's gonna crap on us too bad for this.
So I was gonna I debated really hard on my number three because I was like, coins for Mario or star bits for Mario, because
Mm.
I was like, well, you don't really spend the star bits, but the idea that you can feed a star more star bits, which like is that cannibalism? I don't know. That's a conversation for another time. But and they can expand into an entire galaxy is pretty cool. Like if I could just throw $20 out my front door and suddenly there's a new galaxy in front of me. That'd be
Okay,
pretty cool.
you took a turn. I'm glad that you took, because I thought you were gonna say if I could just eat 20 people and spawn a whole new country, like I do it. I was gonna be like, dang, Brandon, we do got to expand, our borders at some point. Like, we got to get more Earth for all the humans. But jeez, right? It's like first in line. I'm gonna eat
Oh
20
man.
people, and I'm gonna spawn this new continent over there that looks like Yoshi's head out of wood. Just like, calm down, Brandon.
Yeah, we went
Uh,
very different places with that. That's
we sure did. What's your number 2, friend?
okay. I feel like I feel like our number ones and our number twos might even be the same, but I don't know because my number one is for a very specific reason.
Okay.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But number
Okay.
two, rupees from Zelda.
Not on my list.
Ah, cool. All right, cool. Well, then our number one probably isn't the same. But anyways, yeah, I'm a little biased on this one. I just really like the Zelda series, and uh, I really like the, I guess, identity that like rupees have.
Mm.
Like for one, they're like a pretty unique design from like most video game currencies, in my opinion. And then I really like that like the different colors, notate like the value of each one.
Hmm.
I just really thought that it was a cool way of distinguishing stuff because not every game does that. Like, there's not a, like five bottle caps glued together or something for a five cap bill or whatever in Fallout. So I don't know. It's cool that they added a layer of depth to the money in Zelda.
So I didn't add it to my list because I figured you would have it on yours, and I wanted to talk about different things, and also it might be more iconic than, well, actually, no, because yeah, when I have my full list out, you'll understand why it's not on there. Because as much as I love Zelda games, I think these other games that I did put on my list, I just not that I valued them more, but just currency wise, they spoke to me a little bit more. But you're 100% right about the how iconic the shape, the look of the rupee is, because I could show you a coin and you could be like, oh, is that a chocolate coin? I could show you a Mario coin, and it's not really indistinguishable from other coins necessarily. You'd have to really know. But if you show someone a rupee from Zelda, that's a rupee from Zelda. Because like someone might get confused, just like, oh, that's just a video game coin, or that, because all video game coins look pixely or whatever, or that's a chocolate
Sure.
coin that I'm giving my niece. But rupees are indistinguishable from, I think, anything else. They are Zelda, 1,000,000%, like you said, and the color thing is really important.
Elijah, let's hear your number 2.
It is bells from Animal Crossing.
Okay. I had a feeling
Yeah,
that when you started talking about like the iconicness, I had a feeling you were going in this direction. But please explain.
it's Animal Crossing, my friend. It's about that
Okay.
loot. And now a whole new generation, a whole bunch of people are jumping on the train, and they understand it's all about that mighty dollar. And you got to give it to Tom Nook. You got to get the turnips. You got to collect them on the weekends. You got to harass all your friends to be like, hey, what your prices is? What your prices is? Let me come to that island. And then you tip them, and you're just like, yeah, okay, peace. I'm out. I mean, look, the Bells hustle is it's harder than it's ever been, and like they're just like 250,000 bells for this laptop, and I'm just like, oh god, it's so expensive. Yeah, bells, man. Everyone who's played Animal Crossing knows there's so many ways to cheat and spoof and get them. I actually have a bag of bells pin on the video game board behind me, of my video game like vision board of like pins and
Nice.
stuff. So yeah, it's all like when you said game currency, like bells was the first thing I wrote down, and I was just like, I just didn't know where it was on my list, but I knew it was on
Sure.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I picked up Animal Crossing's New Horizons. It didn't quite hook me the way that I was hoping that it would. So I haven't really put a whole lot of time into it. But like I see on Twitter, like and Facebook, and people are like, "Hey, what are your turnip prices?" So it's cool that a game can do that. Uh, it's cool that they're really building an economy with bells. You know.
Oh,
Um,
did you not see the cat was going for like $1,000, Raymond, online, like real money? Like people were like,
my
if
God.
you yeah, dude, like there were certain Animal Crossing characters that were going for hundreds and hundreds of dollars online. If you, because like the thing is like you put them in boxes, so like, hey, I'm gonna leave your town, but if you come and talk to them, they like will go to the other person's town with them. It's like this
Hmm.
whole, it was like this whole black market forming up around it, and like it was crazy. Like people are selling like Nook Mile tickets and bells and all this other stuff to fill out there to get like the right fish, or it's been like insanity online. It's like the World of Warcraft stuff, like, all over again.
My God. It sounds like a cesspool.
I've been deep in it, man. And there's this poor little like cat in a box, and it's just like, oh god, why are you shipping me to this other island? It's just real sad.
Incredible.
What's your number one,
Incredible.
pal?
Okay. My number 1 is Pokey Dollars from Pokemon.
Okay. Huh. I didn't even think of okay.
All right.
Go on.
So I remember how I went on that whole long tandem earlier about like, oh well, money should contribute to the overall goal or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so I was thinking about Mario and how like 100 coins is a life, and obviously like immortality. But and I did some research for this, and I found that in Pokemon Black and White 2, X and Y, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, you can buy full revives or max revives, uh, which is basically like keeping your pet immortal, and that's priceless right there, my friend.
Oh. Oh, the wholesomeness that your puppo can never go away because you're just
Yeah.
oh my heart breaks right now. Okay, so you made me realize the thing that we didn't talk about when we were talking about the Zelda and the rupees thing. It's like the ways that you get rupees, like slashing grass and like going into someone's home and breaking all their pottery. Like
Yeah.
that's a real savage move by Nintendo and the I guess Link for being lawless and just running into people's homes and stealing all their rupees. But you made me realize that like same thing though. It's kind of bullshit in Pokemon. It's just like you've encountered Schoolboy Greg, and he's just like in a forest, and then you beat the crap out of him, and you take all his money.
And you take his money.
And but you're doing it to adults too. You're doing it to children, adults, people of all backgrounds. You're just
Just
beating them up in the
mugging
forest.
people with your dragon.
Yeah, like here I am Like, there's like miners doing their jobs, and it's just like, you fought Miner Greg. And he's
On
like, oh
site.
God. Savagery. Okay, anything else with the Pokey Dollars, friend? Or was that your whole reason?
No, that was my whole reason. Just immortal pets, man.
Okay. And I'm sure that there's plenty of people around the world who would get behind that. They'd pay millions of dollars for that. They'd pay Animal Crossing prices.
Definitely. Actually, I did one more because I did some research and I was like, do we have conclusive evidence that Pokemon die from old age? And technically we don't. But also there's Pokemon graveyards and like
Mm-hmm.
ghost Pokemon. Like what's up with that? Oh damn it, Cubone. Well, but that's not necessarily old age again. So,
Yeah. So
anyways, the whole point was like, if you brought that up, I was gonna argue like, nah, man, they're immortal.
I don't know. I think this is something we will have to dig into because I can't. Yeah, I don't know. In my head, I think I want to say I've seen old Pokemon before, but that just might be because they were with old people who had mustaches, and I don't like. I can't quite remember if like I've seen like a Blastoise walking around like with a cane and like wrinkles. I don't think I've seen that.
Right. Well, and you don't have like because you would think in like the Pokédex there would be like an average lifespan or something. Because when you go to the
Mm.
zoo, like they have the plaques and it's like an average turtle lives up to this long. This one right here is like this old. So I don't know.
Well, now, okay, look, okay, this is. I don't know if we can find this in canon, but now you're actually making me worry about something else because let's say in the Pokemon world they are immortal, and like so, like when their beginner stage or whatever, because not all Pokemon have 3 stages, but that's like ages 6 to 10, and then when they become their middle form, like Ivysaur, then that's like you're like 10 to 20, and then when you're your third form, you're like 30 to I don't know 50 or whatever. But then if they don't age and if they are immortal, then the world would keep filling up with them
Oh
because they're
no.
breeding Pokemon. So then this might confirm by accident the theory that people do eat Pokemon in that world. Because where are they getting the meat for the burgers? It has to be coming from Tauroses, right? Or Miltanks, or I mean, like, look, there has to be an answer to this. And is it? You were going wholesome, and I'm taking a full sad trade. Like, do the Pokemon get so like before the Pokemon get too old to die? They all could eat that. I just don't know, Brandon. I don't know what the answer is.
That's man, we went down a path on this one, buddy.
How are there hamburgers and hot dogs in the Pokemon world?
Yeah, you got me there. You got me. Well, and they have like milk and shit too, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
What's the answer?
I don't know.
They can't. I don't know if they can be immortal because that world would overflow with them. The humans would be outnumbered like 70 to 30. It's like I truly don't know.
All right, one more thing on Pokemon before we get to your number one, because like so you were talking about age with like evolution. So if you give like a Pikachu or a Pichu a Thunderstone, are you just like are you forcing him into his like 20s or something?
So he's been alive for like 2 days, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this being two thing for a while. I'm baby. I'm gonna enjoy being baby," and then just immediately thrust into college age. Yeah,
Suddenly he has student debt, has to get a job.
oh, oh my god.
Thunderstones
This
cause
is
student debt
okay.
confirmed.
What about this? What if they're not aging when they're in their Pokeballs?
Oh
And
shit! There
that's
we
why they have
go.
longer lifespans. I was thinking the X-Men show Legion, there's a character that has like this younger woman inside of him, but they used to be the same age, but every time she's inside of him, she's not aging, and then he shoots her out, and then she's like ninja kicking and fighting people.
I
Yeah,
gotta finish Legion apparently.
it's a good show. Either
It,
way,
it was
yeah.
a great one. I just didn't finish the last season.
Yeah, I'm like that with a lot of stuff. I was watching Killing Eve, and then I just kind of stopped. Who knows? Like, how do you even watch things anymore these days, man? Like, just like, what's the point?
Truly.
Really? Truly, the meteor
Truly.
is coming. At least Pokemon are immortal. Either way. So my number one is going to be Gil from Final Fantasy. Not any
Oh,
specific
okay.
Final Fantasy, just Final Fantasy in general, because I realized that like as much games as I've played in general, the currency I've probably collected the most of over my lifespan has been in Final Fantasy games. So it's got to be Gil for me.
So you're like, you'd be like Jeff Bezos status with Gil.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am buying an extra life with my almost $1 trillion. I'm doing it. Yeah, it's. I think we kind of talked about this before in a previous episode. It feels like a basic pick for me. Like I feel like it's just the Starbucks of picks. But when you said video game money, I thought of First Bells, and then the next thing I thought of was Gil, and I was like, you know what? I have collected more Gil than anything and probably spent more Gil than anything in any game because I've replayed so many different Final Fantasies so many times and I just enjoy Gil. I do.
All right. Does it so? Because I've only ever played like 2 or 3 Final Fantasy games and only one to completion, but I wouldn't even count it because it was technically only like 1/10 of Final Fantasy 7 or whatever. But does Gil have like a like what does it look like? You know?
It depends game to game because sometimes it's just you just collected the Gil and it's just like a little circle, like a white circle, and that's just like it's just money, it's just coin. And then there's other games where like it is around or you could see it or you pick it up off stuff. Like Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles has that. I think the remakes of 3, the original 3, not the American 3, and then the remake of 4, which is American 3. So confusing. Wait, no, it's American 2. 4 is American 2. That's right. Jeez, no, I'm backwards. I don't know, man. There's sometimes it looks like stuff, sometimes it doesn't. Final Fantasy Chocobo Tales, it looks cool. I've collected a lot of it. It just had to be on here. It's in the one spot because just cumulatively, you know what I mean? Like by mass and by
Sure,
sheer
sure.
amount, I had to put it there. It's not my
That's fair.
choice. It's just I didn't choose this. It chose me.
That's fair. That's fair. So hold on, because I while you were doing that, excuse me, one of the things that I wanted to do, again, I was kind of dying, but one of the things I wanted to do was like do like a full like buying power analysis for each of the currencies that I picked.
Oh.
Um, and I think Gil was pretty up there in like exchange rate, if I remember right.
Okay, like schmeckles to dollar. Yeah, like, I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, I mean, because
It's
it's just like
not.
gold coins.
I didn't see it, but again, that because that was one of the things that I was struggling with Pokemon too. Like, there's so many of these games at this point. Like, I'm sure inflation exists. You know, you probably can't buy a potion now for what you could back in Final Fantasy 2,
Yeah,
which is American 4 or whatever.
yeah. Back in my day, I could get a Phoenix down for $10, and that gives you an extra life and makes me immortal like Pokemon. But now they priced me out of it. The Richies.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yes,
Elijah,
friend.
do you have any closing thoughts on video game currency?
I'm glad we did this. I was not that I was worried, but it was an oddball out of left field pick, and I'm glad that you bring that to the show. So I just want to say thank you, pal. And in closing, we are of course on the Project Nerd Network. You can check that out, projectnerd.com, for writing and podcasts and all kinds of things that are nerd based. They keep the lights on here. We're presented by the Game Pitch Podcast. Check that out as well. Those drop every Monday, and you can find us on Twitter at Mr. Snow 97 for Brandon and at Mario RPGino for me. And then, if you want to listen, we're on Apple, Google, Spotify, those places. Check it out. This is the Top 4 Podcast. Brandon, take us out.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening.